Hi friends, in this video we are going to study preparing bar charts and the Gantt charts. Bar chart or a bar graph is a chart or a graph that presents categorical data with rectangular bars with heights or lengths proportional to the values that they represent. The bars can be plotted vertically or horizontally. For construction, we usually plot the bar chart to represent the timeline in horizontal manner. Simple bar charts can be plotted directly on paper or using simple computer software like MS Excel, which has chart options. The benefit of bar chart is that the timelines shown are proportional and accurate. Thus, the plotting is also good for tracking purpose as well as fairly represent the original state of the schedule. However, bar charts has certain shortcomings. These bar charts do not show relationships or interdependencies between the project. The progress at any point of time is not known. Also, no concept of milestone etc. can be introduced in bar chart. Therefore, an improvised version of bar chart called as Gantt chart was introduced. Gantt chart is also a type of bar chart which illustrates a typical project schedule and is most widely used for construction scheduling representation. This chart lists the tasks to be performed on the vertical axis and time intervals on horizontal axis. The width of horizontal bars in the graph shows the duration of each activity. Gantt chart thus illustrates the start and finish dates of the elements as well as it gives summary task elements to the project, which further helps in visualization. Modern Gantt charts show the dependency, that is, the precedence network relationship between these activities. Also, Gantt charts can be used to show current schedule status, percentage complete, etc. by adding a vertical today line. We will see the examples at the end of this video. Before we move further, it is important that we understand the history of Gantt chart, since it is one of the first scheduling tools that was developed for project management. In the year 1896, Karol Adaminek, who called it a harmonogram, started using it widely in the country Poland. It spread slowly through Europe and was then published as a chart in 1931. In 1912, Herman published what would now be considered as Gantt chart while discussing a construction project. Unlike today's Gantt chart, Herman's charts did not display interdependencies, which was left for the reader to interfere. These were static representations and they could not be updated. Finally, in 1915 in America, Henry Gantt designed the modern Gantt chart. One of the first major applications of the Gantt chart was by the United States during World War I itself, under the Army General William Crozier. The earliest Gantt charts were then drawn on paper and therefore had to be redrawn entirely in order to adjust the schedule changes. For many years in construction industry, the project managers continued to use pieces of paper or blocks to represent Gantt chart bars, and they could be easily adjusted as required. Finally, in 1980s, with the advent of personal computers and widespread demand for creating a scheduling tool in it, Gantt chart was introduced and can now be used in an elaborate manner over various types of softwares. Here we can see the original Gantt chart developed by Mr. Gantt in 1917. Here he has represented the status on a particular date. The WBS or and project activities are shown on the extreme left side in the vertical axis, whereas the top horizontal axis here shows the duration as well as the percent capacity used. He also mentions resource details and cost details. Today's modern day Gantt chart is plotted using various types of tools in MSP, in Primavera, etc. They can be divided easily into work breakdown structures, which show summary tasks. The tasks are assigned start date and duration, the end date automatically calculated. Relationships between each of these activities, output, percentage completed, can also be tracked as per the date. In this schedule, you can see the percentage of the project shown is 40% complete. That is through easy determination of its underlying sub projects and then its activities. Let us now discuss a simple scheduling example to prepare a Gantt chart. Following is a table which has given task for finishing of a room, which involves block work, door window frame fixing, plastering over the block work, then shutter fixing for doors and windows, painting the room, furnishing the room, and then handover to the client. The durations are also listed, and each of these tasks are having dependencies on one another. That is, the door window frame fixing can be done only after block work is completed. Let us now consider a simple example to schedule a Gantt chart. The question is to estimate the project duration for the following finishing work, which includes block work, fixing of door window frame, plastering, then fixing of shuttering for the doors and windows, painting, furnishing, and handing over to the client. The duration for each of the activities is mentioned and it has dependencies. Hence, because it is not all of finish to start relationship, adding up of the all the durations will not give the correct answer. Let us see how can we prepare a Gantt chart for this example. Block work duration is 1 week. Door window frame fixing is again 1 week. However, it has a dependency on completion of the first activity, that is block work. Next is plastering. It is for 2 weeks and it also has dependency on completion of block work. Thus we reach week 3. Then we have the fixing of doors and window shutter, which is for a duration of 1 week and has direct dependency on completion of plastering works. After this, we have painting, which lasts for 2 weeks. This will also come after plastering works is completed. After painting work is done, comes furnishing, which is for 1 week after completion of paint. And last is handover, which lasts for a duration of 1 week and is dependent on furnishing. Thus, we can see that the total project duration comes out to be 7 weeks. Now, we try to update the schedule and check the progress status as on week 4. The status date is seen in the form of a blue line, which marks today's date, and we evaluate the project progress. Blockwork was completed 100% on time. The door window frame fixing was also completed in 1 week time. However, the plaster gang did a very slow work and could not complete the job in the scheduled 2 week time and further went on to take 3 weeks, and the work currently is 95% completed. Since plastering was delayed by 1 full week, this has pushed the schedule ahead, and further, the door window shutter fixing task has shifted from week 4 to week 5, which is shown by the shift in color. The red marked blocks represent the delay in the schedule. Further, painting, furnishing, and handover sequentially move 1 week ahead. Now we can see that as on week 4, the total project duration has become 8 weeks instead of 7 weeks that was planned as a baseline. Thus, monitoring and tracking for Gantt chart is also done easily in paper as well as in softwares. Thank you.